Here's a weird thing on the console. Got Drawmer DS201 hardware gate on aux 9 and aux 10, and if I've got, it's just a feed from my iPod coming in on an aux cable into stereo channel 2. If I turn 9 and 10 up to the exact same amount, let's put them both to unity there, and then the 9 and 10 faders are at the same level, but 9 is really faint compared to 10. And it's not just on the meter bridge, because that is mimicked down here where the first channel on the gate, 9, is not getting as much signal as the second channel on the gate, which comes from aux 10. And that is a really strange thing that I have been noticing in the last few days, and I can't figure out why it is. I'm going to try swapping the cables over, see if it's something in the cabling, but I don't think it is, because there's no actual cable between here. They're both set to send the same amount off this channel strip to the auxes. There's no cabling between there, it's internal, it's inside the desk, and we're getting a lot less off one than we are off the other, and I can't work it out. This is inside the Soundcraft MH3 40-channel console, and the bit that I've taken out, this particular module, this is the master section, and it's got the 4 what they call master auxes, I think, aux 9 and 10, aux 11 and 12 there, and then you've got your main master output faders, your mono fader monitors, talkback, and the main left and right out and mono out meter bridges on there, plus all the controls for the aux channel strips, the 9 and 10. And then on the inside, it looks like this, and it's terrifying having it in pieces like this and taking all the bits out of the inside, because I don't really like to do that if I can help it. But I've got to see if I've got a loose connection anywhere, because my signal to aux 9 is very faint compared to the other auxes. If I you see from the test video that I did earlier, and set the same level that we've got here, this particular channel is sending the same amount to 9 as to 10, but 9 gets only a small amount of signal coming in and 10 gets the full whack. So there's obviously a problem over here. That happens on every channel. It's not these sends that are causing it on this. It happens the same on the on DAW as it does on aux, and it happens the same on my main input channels as well. So it's not this that's causing the issue. It's not these sends, these pots here. It's something that's inside this aux channel strip there that's causing that problem. So that's why we've got it naked here at the moment, to see if I can spot anything dodgy, any loose connections, anything that doesn't look quite as it is supposed to be. Luckily, the aux, which is the issue, is 9, which is obviously the first one in that module. So this circuit board on this end here, this is actually the one that I'm interested in for the purposes of this, so I don't have to go delving right into the middle of these strips of circuitry, which is nice. So I've actually switched the console on with the master section still hanging out at the moment, which is looks a little bit weird, seeing it all kind of burst into life whilst there's a chunk of it missing. But hopefully just going to see what happens and if I can make any difference to the way that these auxes behave. So exactly the same thing as before. I've got some signal being sent from my iPod into this stereo channel marked aux. At the moment, I've turned these 9 and 10 right down. So if we come over here, we've got to obviously look, because it's sitting on its side at the moment, look around here. So 9 and 10 obviously both showing nothing because they've been turned down. You'll make sure that my faders are set in the right place there. They probably got a little bit knocked or moved slightly as I was taking this out of there. So my gains and all that, they're set as normal. And the faders are both on unity there as well. So what we're going to do is keep an eye on these meter bridges. And the first thing I'm going to do, the channel which I think works, is 10. So I'm just going to gradually bring up. I'm fading in, you can't see it, I'll just kind of show you what's going on over here as well. See, I'm just fading in gradually aux 10 until I get to unity. I got up to 0 now on the aux pot there for aux number 10, and it does exactly what I would expect it to. And it comes in with a nice strong signal coming into aux number 10. So I'm going to try and do exactly the same thing now with 9. Gradually fading in. Got a little bit of signal coming in. We've got all the way up to 0. Now they actually look matched now. They look the same. I haven't really done much. I did sort of wiggle these connectors a little bit just to see, because I wiggled them while I was reading the labels that we've got here. Very helpfully, Soundcraft have labelled this circuit board. We've got this one, these ribbon connectors here from PSU Distribution. Mother Loom. Sounds scary. Imagine if you were going out with Mother Loom's daughter. And then Matrix Loom. Oh, she sounds nice. I don't know why that one's a she. I don't know what I'm doing now. Essentially, the problem has vanished by the simple act of taking the circuitry out. So basically, I've got to do all my recording sessions and do all my mixing work here with it looking stupid like this, and then everything's fine. And now we've found the problem. So it wasn't actually taking the circuit out which fixed that issue. It was, in fact, unplugging these jack connectors. Obviously, I had to unplug everything that is everything that's usually cabled in at the back here in order to remove the module. And then that first test which I ran, I did sort of completely dry without any outboard actually attached to this. So now I've these are actually slightly stretched because obviously they've got to go a little bit further than normal. I think they're going to be okay there for a moment. As soon as I've plugged the connections that actually go to my hardware gate back in, we're back to the same problem there with 9 being really weak, which is a little bit interesting, isn't it? It is actually the return from 9 which is the problem. If I just show you that, still got there, the send, still sending to the gate. Unplug the return, bang, return, plug that in, and 9 is all of a sudden looking very anemic again. And now what I've done, I had to stop filming just to do this for a second, but I've just switched those returns round. So the right channel 2 off the gate return, which would normally be coming back into 10, is now coming back into 9. And then this is the channel 1 return from the gate, which I've put into 10. Suddenly, 10 has the problem. So the problem is somewhere in this cable. So I've just switched to totally different cables here, and the problem remains, which implies to me that there's nothing wrong with any of this. There's nothing wrong with the cables that I had before, but that there is something wrong with channel 1 output on my gate. That this channel 1 is not good. It is sending back basically, you know, nothing to the console, and that's why it meters so little, basically. I mean, if I switch it on stereo link, it doesn't make any difference. Look, I think it is literally just that output. Because let's try this for a second, right? So this is really a case of seeing how the sausage is made, isn't it? Which is, generally speaking, not a great idea to show people stuff like this. But look at that. That is what you call cable management. Doesn't matter because it's all behind stuff. Let's switch these. These are the new cables, obviously, which I just stuck in there. If I go out of, take that one out of channel 2, and I swap these, so that one is now channel 2 going to aux 9. This one goes to aux 10. It was in channel 2. It is now caught on something. It is now coming from channel 1. Let's go and see what difference that has made. And the difference it has made is exactly as I suspected. Now 9 is fine, and 10 is, can't think of anything that rhymes with 10 that means crap, but well, yeah, that's 10. So essentially, whichever one of these is coming, whichever return from there comes from the channel 1 output on my gate down here, that is the aux channel which is bad. So the problem is not in the console, and I took this all apart for no reason, as it turns out, but we didn't know that then, so actually it was for a reason. It was for finding that out. We took it all apart, we switched the cables, we did all that stuff. Turns out the problem is actually in the gate.